Ever thought about living on the edge, literally? Around the globe, some homes take the idea of a risky location to new heights. Ever seen a house smack in the middle of a sea? Or how about one that's built so high up in the trees it sways with the wind? Imagine living on a house that floats, or a house where waking up with a volcano as your next-door neighbor. And ever seen a house where you have to climb a dangerous ladder just to get inside? Sounds thrilling, doesn't it? Welcome back to another amazing episode of Snow Trail. Today, we're diving into the stories of the 12 most risky houses around the globe. From waking up every morning on the edge of a waterfall to living on a cliff where the ocean roars right beneath your feet. And don't go anywhere. You definitely don't want to miss the breathtaking tale of a house suspended 75 meters above the ground. So, buckle up, hit subscribe, and let's dive into these incredible stories. 12. House on the Rock in Serbia. Imagine a simple log cabin, not tucked away in the forest, but in the middle of a river. About 50 years ago, in 1968, a group of young adventurers decided to build a retreat where none would expect, one on a rock in the river. This spot is located near the town of Bajina Basta, a serene area that contrasts sharply with the risky positioning of the house. They transported materials by boat and constructed a modest yet sturdy shelter that has withstood the tests of time and weather. The house is built on a large rock in the river, which could be submerged during high water levels in spring, making it a precarious place to reside. But make no mistake, living here, or even just visiting, requires a cautious approach as the river's mood can change swiftly, challenging the very foundation of this daring dwelling. Despite its risky location, the house has become one of the most photogenic and iconic sites in the region. 11. The Principality of Sealand. Floating on a man-made platform in the North Sea, Sealand is a micronation claiming to be its own sovereign state. The Principality of Sealand is not your typical home. It's an old World War II fort turned into a self-proclaimed sovereign nation. Located in the North Sea, approximately 12 kilometers off the coast of Suffolk, England, Sealand stands on a man-made platform originally known as Fort Ruffs. This unusual house was occupied in 1967 by Paddy Roy Bates, a former British Army major who declared it an independent sovereign state. Sealand is built on a platform in one of the roughest seas, making it susceptible to strong winds, massive waves, and stormy weather, conditions that would challenge the fortitude of any structure. The platform, with dimensions of 550 square meters, is limited in space, but high in adventure and risk. Living here means being ready to face isolation during rough sea conditions and the constant maintenance required to keep rust and corrosion at bay. Despite its challenges, Sealand has its own national anthem, flag, and even issues passports, asserting its identity as a micronation despite lack of widespread international recognition. 10. Kachki Pillar in Georgia. Perched atop a 40-meter-high limestone monolith, this tiny house is accessible only by a dangerous ladder. The Kachki Pillar stands as a breathtaking natural limestone monument towering 40 meters high above the Georgian countryside. Located near the village of Kachki in the region of Imereti, this slender, tall rock has been a site of religious significance since ancient times, but it was only in the 1990s that a monk named Maxime Kopterodze decided to restore and inhabit the small church and hermitage at its summit. To reach the tiny house and church atop the Kachki Pillar, one must climb a risky, vertigo-inducing ladder, which is not for the faint-hearted. Living atop this pillar, the monk faces not just spiritual solitude, but also the physical dangers of being isolated high above the ground. This location challenges all notions of a safe dwelling, as any medical emergency or sudden bad weather can turn this spiritual retreat into a terrifying situation. 9. Tree House of Kauai Tribe. In the remote forests of Papua New Guinea, the Kauai tribe takes treehouse living to extreme heights. Living so high in the trees comes with its share of dangers. These are survival structures, some perched over 35 meters above the ground in the towering trees of the tropical rainforest. Built to protect against rival tribes and wild animals, these houses are a testament to the tribe's ingenuity and their intimate connection with nature. The risk of falling is ever present, exacerbated by the wet, slippery conditions common in rainforests. Moreover, constructing and maintaining these elevated homes requires climbing skills and a head for heights that not many can boast. The homes are accessed via ladders or sometimes just a series of notches cut into the tree trunk, adding to the dangerous nature of their daily life. 8. Floating home of Lake Titicaca. On the high-altitude plains of the Andes, between Peru and Bolivia, sits Lake Titicaca, the largest freshwater lake in South America and the highest navigable lake in the world. Here, the Uros, a pre-Incan people, live not beside the lake, but on it. They construct their homes on floating islands made from the tatora reed that grows abundantly in the shallow areas of the lake. These islands and homes are anchored to the bottom with ropes to prevent them from drifting away. Building a house on a reed island comes with its unique set of challenges. The reeds rot from the bottom up and must be replenished continuously, which means that maintenance is a constant part of life here. The islands are also vulnerable to strong winds and sudden storms, which can be quite dangerous for the Uros people. 7. The Meteora Monasteries. In the heart of Greece, rising above the plains of Thessaly, the Meteora monasteries appear to defy gravity, perched atop giant rock pillars formed over millions of years by earthquakes and weathering. Dating back to the 14th century, these Eastern Orthodox monasteries were built by monks seeking spiritual solitude and protection from political upheaval. Today, 6 of the original 24 remain active, each a marvel of medieval architecture, accessible by staircases cut into the rock formations. The danger in these stunning locations comes not just from their height. Some are over 400 meters, 1,312 feet, high, but also from the risk of rock falls and the eroding forces of wind and rain, which constantly threaten their ancient foundations. Despite these challenges, the monasteries continue to be a place of peace and prayer. 6. House on Mount Merapi. Mount Merapi, located on the border between central Java and Yogyakarta in Indonesia, is one of the most active volcanoes in the world. The name Merapi itself means mountain of fire. Living in the shadow of Merapi is a risky endeavor, with frequent eruptions that spew lava and ash over nearby villages and farmland. The most recent major eruption in 2010 caused significant casualties and forced thousands from their homes. Houses near Mount Merapi are built with the constant threat of pyroclastic flows, fast-moving currents of hot gas, and volcanic matter that can destroy everything in their path. The residents of these areas live with the knowledge that evacuation could become necessary at any moment, depending on the whims of the mountain. Life here is a testament to human resilience, as the fertile volcanic soils are ideal for agriculture, binding people to this dangerous, yet bountiful land. 5. Falling water in the USA. Falling Water, designed by the renowned American architect Frank Lloyd Wright, is located in the lush forests of Pennsylvania, USA. Completed in 1939, this house is a masterpiece of modern architecture, famously extending over a waterfall. The house is built directly over Bear Run, a lively stream that influenced its iconic design. Despite its beauty, Falling Water presents several risks. The house battles issues with dampness and the ongoing stress of water erosion. Structural integrity is a constant concern, with the building requiring significant reinforcement efforts over the decades to prevent sagging and collapse. Living in Falling Water combines the tranquility of nature with the thrill of residing on the edge, literally over the moving waters below. 4. Stilt houses on Lake Bakoti in Hungary. The stilt houses of Lake Bakoti are located in Hungary, a picturesque setting that turns into a challenging environment. These homes are built on wooden stilts over the cooling lake of a power station, which means the water beneath them never freezes, even in the harsh Hungarian winters. While this provides unique ice-free views year-round, it also poses risks. The lake's level and the condition of the water can fluctuate depending on the power station's operations. Living here means constant vigilance against the potential of flooding, and the wooden stilts require regular maintenance to combat rot and water damage. The residents of these stilt houses live in a delicate balance, enjoying serene lakefront views while managing the instability of their aquatic foundation. 3. Coastline homes. Coastline homes around the world, from the rocky shores of California to the sandy beaches of Australia, offer breathtaking views and direct access to the ocean. However, these peaceful settings come with the inherent risk of coastal erosion, rising sea levels, and severe weather events like hurricanes and tsunamis. These natural forces can gradually eat away at the land, threatening the very foundation of homes built close to the edge. For instance, in places like the Norfolk coast in the UK, some homes have had to be abandoned or have fallen into the sea due to rapid cliff erosion. Living in these homes requires a constant awareness of the changing landscape and sometimes even emergency plans to relocate, making it a risky yet mesmerizing experience. 2. Cliff house in Australia. The cliff house in Australia is a concept by Modscape that takes coastal living to extreme heights. Designed to be anchored into the cliffs of Victoria, overlooking the Southern Ocean, this home is envisioned as a 5-story vertical stack of modules. The design is striking, with the house appearing to cling to the cliff face, offering panoramic sea views that are both stunning and slightly terrifying. The use of engineered steel pins to secure the house to the cliff helps mitigate the risks of landslides and erosion. However, living here would still involve a daring acceptance of being perched on a precipice, where the ocean's mood can change from calm to stormy in an instant. The thrill of residing in such a home comes with a stark reminder of nature's power as the waves crash against the cliffs below. 1. Hanging Temple in China. The Hanging Temple, also known as Xiankong Temple, is an architectural wonder that defies the usual concepts of stability and security. Located near Mount Hung in Shaanxi Province, China, this temple is dangerously perched on the side of a sheer cliff about 75 meters above the ground. Built more than 1,500 years ago during the Northern Wei Dynasty, it represents a rare combination of Buddhist, Taoist, and Confucian elements. The temple is anchored into the cliffside with oak crossbeams fitted into holes chiseled into the rock, but the visible supports barely seem capable of holding the structure's weight, adding an element of danger to its beauty. The wooden walkways and staircases creak with every step, reminding visitors of the perilous position. Erosion and weathering constantly threaten the temple's stability, requiring ongoing maintenance to ensure its survival against the elements. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments which of these risky homes you'd dare to live in.